Hey there, and welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel. I'm with me today's Kirk. Unfortunately, there is no Andy today. He's tied up on other projects, but we are joined by Tim, or A.K.A Carlisle, from the LCY Media, or Lawnchair Youth, as we got to know him. Welcome to the channel.
Hey man, what up?
Great to have you on here. I really should explain about why this kind of chat interviews come about, which is every week we on the A.D.K channel we get together once a week and we review a load of videos. We talk about albums, we do discussion topics, sometimes we do interviews, but we have one day a week where we just sort of focus for a few hours on content. And I'd been talking about in previous videos about how I'd noticed people doing video shoots on white rooms or white screens, and I thought,
Yeah,
I know,
another another
white room video, yes.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a video. We're going to have a whole session just about those, and I'm going to compare loads of different bands and stuff. And so I came across one band, and I downloaded that video ready for review. And then in the suggested videos, there was another band, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll have a look at that one. And I'm like, hang on, these look really similar. And then I started noticing this Lawnchair Youth, and I'm like, this can't all be the same band. Well, hang on, what's going on here? And then I was getting recommendation after, and I was like, this is very odd. But I thought, you know what? We'll just focus on those videos. And we were so surprised when we started going and reviewing the videos last week by that. The first thing we were like, is like, yeah, we've got to get the guys on here. We've got to get them to talk about what Lawnchair Youth is. How did it come about? Because when we looked at the website, we're like, hang on, you do recording studio? Hang on, you do live videos? What the hell is all this about? We gotta chat to you about this. So that is why, Tim, we asked you to come on the channel. So I'm gonna throw it straight out there. Tell us a little bit about what is Lawnchair Youth.
So Lawnchair Youth started in 2013 with me and Zach, but it started as a clothing company. So like back in the day, you have like people like Mac Miller and Wiz Khalifa, and they had Taylor Gang, Mos Def, ASAP. All of them had like their clothing brand, and so we wanted something that was like markable, but also it fits like kind of a theme. So Lawnchair Youth being, I'm 30, I'm about to be 31, but we were considered the lazy generation when I was 20, you know. So lawn chair being, relaxed, chill, and then youth being lazy, young. And then our mission statement is far from lazy because it's a play on of us being the lazy generation. But it also can tailor into like kind of like more free form. The chair is pretty, I think, a pretty cool like symbol. Like it has like an actual logo, and I think it's pretty recognizable. So we pretty much did that, and then I was making music, so I just generally had I combined it. So I wore the clothes in the music videos. I would only do LCY clothing, and I was shooting all my own music videos. And eventually, I shot so many videos that people started wanting a video. So I started shooting music videos for rappers, and then I had a three rappers that kind of like changed everything for me. I shot this 16-year-old first video. If you go to Lawnchair, you go scroll all the way down to like 2016. There's my music video, and then it's the rapper's video. The first one, it has like 200,000 views. And from that video, a famous comedian, MK Slat, he saw that video, and I shot his video, which has like 1.5 million views. And then after that, Day, I shot his video, and that video, we have multiple million view videos, but it started this ripple effect. And in my city, Birmingham, there's probably like 4 videographers at that time that were like constant work. So we all had our own little groups, and then it built, and then it got to a point where COVID happened, and COVID weirdly being the best thing that ever happened to me because it made property values super cheap. And I had so much time, and everybody was getting so much money, like just from the government. And I was shooting videos constantly because I didn't have a job now. So, and then eventually in like middle of August 2020, we found LCY, the first building, and we got it. renovated it, and then a year later started doing a production recording studio, and then fast forward a year later, started doing shows there. So now we're having bands come and play. I mean, we just had I Hate God play there last week. Like, we've had Fall of Troy, Anti Flag play there. And their
Yeah.
floor shows. Like, I mean, like it's weirdly spreaded because it's a place that people just want to play now. Like, it's kind of cool. And then plus the videos help it because it's like, hey, you're gonna come play LCY, do an uncut while you're here, because honestly the uncut's better than the them playing. You'll make probably more money in the long run doing an uncut than you would playing a show at a venue making, like whatever your guarantee is, but generally that's the quick version of everything. But that's kind of where I'm at now. Doing venue like bands and doing uncuts is probably my fourth job. It's not the main job of LCY, but it's one of the things we do in the grand scheme of lawn chairs. So, yeah.
Kirk, I know you had a lot of questions. I'm going to let you take some questions on first.
Yeah, Tim, you've answered one of them straight away. Our viewers would have wanted to know, did you purchase the property? Because he says you purchased it in 2020 before or after COVID. You've answered that. Property prices were low, so that was propitious, wasn't it, at the time? I just want to talk about 2017 when you make this transition, like you said, clothing company, and you're also promoting your own music as a rapper. So in 2017, why did you decide to focus on content creation for local, especially rock, metal, and hardcore bands in Birmingham, Alabama?
Well, the first band I ever shot was actually for an uncut. So, because I could have people back me up for this too, but I've been in the hardcore metal scene since I was 13. So I've been going to shows for, almost 2 years or 20 years. And in that era of 2014, 15, 16, I was begging bands. I would be like, I'll shoot a band's video for free. Like, I wanted to do it so bad. No band would ever let me shoot their music video, would never let me do it. And then my friends enforced neglect in 2020, in February 2022. I was like, yo, can y'all at least like try to do an LCY cut? And it was just so cool. Just nothing like, you've seen white wall videos, but there's no like series like that for bands. So doing them kind of made me realize that like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I had a bunch of other local bands see it. So I just kind of like, I built an audience for it. But generally, yeah, I beg bands for free to shoot their videos, and they would never let me do it. And then I just randomly was like, let me try again, 5 years later, 6 years, 7 years later. And now it is all I shoot. It's like all I do. Yeah.
Yeah, because two of the bands we know over here, so Capra are now signed to Metal Blade Records. What was the relationship there? Did they hear about the services you're offering? Did they come and play a live show and then you're like, oh, while you're here, do you want to do an uncut? Because that's the main promo video for their new album.
So I think what happened was Stay Lost is from Birmingham. They toured with Stay Lost. And so I think I talked to either Tyler or Crow, and they messaged me asking what the price was for one, because through Metal Blade, like, they want to own the video. So they did the actual process of like getting the video, and they did it. And for some reason, they ended up weirdly playing LCY and had a show, I think August 25th. I think my band Gimmick played that show too. And we just knocked it out before the show. And then they were like, oh, we love this. But yeah, I mean, generally that's that's how it works. Band plays a show, they do an uncut. I mean, it just works out that way because it's quicker and better, and like also, making a drive for a band is already enough. Like, if you can play a show, sell some merch, and get a video that's going to be able to promote the rest of your tour, Like, why would you not do that?
Yeah, it's like what we call here in England a one-stop shop. You've got
Yeah.
these three services. You know, you've got the
Yeah.
recording studio, production studio, and then the live venue.
And the print shop.
And a print shop, yes, an affiliate. What's your business partner called? That's Zach, isn't it, that runs that?
Yeah, so we are lucky enough to have the print shop do so well with the new bands coming through. So now we print for No Cure, Your Spirit Dies, Two Piece. We just print for a bunch of bands now. So we were able to get a second location. So we got another 3,000 square foot building about 8 minutes away. And with that, we were able to tear down the old studio walls. And now we have a stage at LCY. So now we have a 16-foot stage for bands to play on. And the capacity is 300 people. So you get a super nice, intimate, and now more safe, better venue just because we progressed our business. But yeah, that's kind of been the hard thing is, you know, just none of us are rich. We're literally spending all the money we get to make it better. But it has gotten better for everybody. Better for us, better for the name, and then generally better for the bands because I mean that's our market now.
Yeah. Do you know the band Gel? I saw the Kerrang magazine, which is the institution certainly in the UK. It's no longer a print operation, and they did the top 50 albums, and Gel were in the top 30. I was surprised because like, oh, I know them through Lawnchair Youth, through one of these videos that we watched. So was that the same there? Did they were playing a show and then they did the whole package?
Yeah, so this is really crazy because I'm cool with Anthony and all of them in that band. So, and luckily they're coming here on the Code Orange tour, which I'm praying.
Yes,
I'm praying because they're playing with Teenage Wrist and Blind Tiger or I think it's Blind Tiger.
Yeah, they're a mathcore band, aren't they? I've reviewed them. They're a good band, Blind Tiger.
I might be messing up one of the bands, but any of those bands I'll gladly take on LCY and cut. I'm not going to turn away anyone. But yeah, with Gel, they came to Birmingham to play the Firehouse, which is a venue 1 minute away from LCY. It's like that big DIY punk place. And I messaged them. They said yes. They came and did it. 40 minutes. And then they went and played LCY, and at that show at LCY, it got filmed and recorded too. And my video, I think now is at like 260,000 views. It was, it's the biggest one on the channel as of now. But they had that video from the Firehouse of them playing live got 350,000 views. So their one trip to Birmingham got them almost 500,000 views for, a punk hardcore band rolling out their album. So we became like really big in their hearts as like a place to play because it benefited their band so much right before they dropped a big album and toured Europe and did everything. So I just shout out to Gel because Gel's sick. I listen. I still listen to them all the time because that Uncut's just so good and the energy is just nuts. But they're better live. So if you see Gel in your city, go see Gel for sure.
Well, we were actually quite lukewarm, Dave, from what I remember, because we'd listened to Backbiter and Cold Steel. The first 4 videos we watched that were LCY Productions were more metallic hardcore. And that band, I think we were slightly confused, weren't we, by Gel in the end?
I remember I liked Gel, but then that's because it's more my cup of tea than it is. If I remember, I'm trying to remember, we did 9 videos back to back.
Yeah.
In a 2-hour session. So we were kind of like, and did I do a comparison with Gel to like Hole?
I think what
Something
we
like
picked up on is that they looked like they were a bit like Faith No More. They looked like they didn't really belong in the same band, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, just the aesthetic. They all look different. It's like you just drag together people.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, if you're watching this, go check out our reaction to that because we had a discussion. I do remember I really liked it. There was just something. Yeah, there was something I really liked about the band, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But I know it wasn't Andy's cup of tea. But anyway, we digress.
Yeah,
we digress.
We digress. Can we go back to Code Orange then? So what a coup that! Are they playing at your venue on their tour?
No, they're not. They're not playing my venue. They're playing 6 minutes down the road. Luckily, Birmingham is a city where you can start at the end of it and go to the other end of it in 8 minutes. So, so it's one of those cities where in this small frame you can have Code Orange playing here, and then you have like Iron City, which is like a 1400. You can have some big country or rock band playing here, and then you can have the Firehouse where you're seeing some big punk band like Cro-Mags just played there the other day, or in Goat Whore. And then LCY, you can just have like a beat down metal show, or shoegaze, anything like that. So there's never not a show happening in Birmingham, which kind of like, it's good and bad at the same time, because like at least there's stuff coming through. But there's no way to have everybody go see the same music at the same time, because there's just so much going on all the time.
Yeah.
But
I think what's impressive, like you say, you're building a portfolio, and what you can say is, look, this band came through, they left with 600,000 views on this video, they did a floor show here. What about this? I just want to change the topic to something a bit different. When you go on your website, the rental aspect of it, and you read through the terms and conditions, I'm naive. I'm not a musician. I'm an observer and writer of music. How common is theft in your industry? It just seems to be like your terms and conditions.
So like I said, shows and like uncuts is like our fourth business. So mainly we have a recording studio, so we're actually more rap focused, so rap and R&B. But when you book online, some people use credit cards and they're not theirs, so we get chargebacks and stuff like that. But we can tell, we have a system in point now, because like back in the day we would have sessions and then we would get the money taken out of our account because they used someone else's information. So we kind of got rid of all that. We haven't had that happen in like over a year and a half. So yeah, thank God, because it used to happen a lot. Like the first early days of the studio, people would just take people's stuff and they would go crazy. But yeah, generally though, that's the terms and conditions. People would use fake information and credit cards, and yeah, thank God it don't happen anymore.
We just assume all artists have integrity, don't we? They're just like, you're a creator of art, so surely you'll be a stand-up person. Why would you be mendacious? And then it just shocked me. And I know, Dave, you're a musician. You've been a recording musician in the past. Never occurred to me that this is an issue. I think the next question me and Dave are interested in is, so you've explained it started off as a clothing brand. Yeah. Then in 2017, you focus on content creation. 2020, you build your studio, the Lawnchair Youth. And then you've got these three services: recording studio, production company, live venue. What considerations have you given to setting up a record label to showcase now the talents in Birmingham, Alabama and beyond?
Well, got that question actually yesterday, because me and my buddy Josh Ford, he's in Bicycle Day in Apprehend. So like today at 11 o'clock, I shot a music video for Bicycle Day's new song, Kevin. And I wanted them to get more traction because I think they're a good ass band. So I also did it with No Cure and Gimmick and Fallen. On my Lawnchair, you can see the official audios for bands. So like today I dropped Bicycle Day's Kevin's official audio. I made a little, preview for it and stuff. And, he asked me the other day, why don't just make a record label? And I was like, it's just a lot of work. It's just a lot of work to do all of this, do my own music, do my own band. I have a 2-year-old, so I have a family. I just literally put him down for a nap and ran in here, put in the code, and came and did it. So I literally been hanging out with my son since 7 a.m., took him to the park, all that, and then now I'm doing this while he naps for an hour and a half. And then as soon as we're done with this, back to being a dad and then doing stuff. So it's just more of like doing a lot of that. And then I did skip this part, but I guess we can talk about it too. I manage the reason I got LCY is I managed 2 rappers. Okay, both of them signed to Sony. So, and as their manager, that I got a percentage of their signing bonus on both of them. So I got a lot of money. I took that money and I got LCY. That's the part I kind of skipped over, but it makes sense now because we're talking about that. So as a person that's managed 5, 6 artists, 7 artists, now I don't do that anymore. But as a person that's done that, I can't imagine doing it for bands because I feel like most labels don't really give bands like any reason, because like it's so you can just be DIY and do better than a label. Like for example, like No Cure, like those are my homies. You know, I remember shooting their first uncut, their first video, and I remember when they had like 500, 1,000 monthly listeners, and then they just dropped a new record and they're at 20K, and this is DIY. They're touring. They went on tour with a Casey Strain. They didn't need a label or management or anything to do that. I mean, I generally just think that most of the time when it comes to bands, the label the label maybe be better for just like a distribution kind of deal, but even with a distribute, like these labels are not giving these bands money to make their record. That's just not. Whereas like rap is like that. Rap, they're like, here's a loan, make us an album, and hopefully make our money back. Where bands are definitely not getting that. So I just don't want to be the person that has to deal with all that and try to, because I already know bands don't really make a lot of money. They make all their money off merch. So like I just don't see the business side of, unless the band blows up or something like that. Like, but if you're not making like 500,000 monthly listeners, like there's not even enough money in your distribution check for it to matter.
Yeah, you're right. So, that's why I asked the question. That's what interests me. It's not economical, really, is it? It makes sense to be DIY. Let's use No Cure as an example. Why would they sign to a label now? Because they'd have to give up a percentage of their merch fees, probably the publishing. They probably wouldn't own the master tapes to the next record. And as you said there, other than touring and selling merch, the physical product, like if you were to set up a record company, how are you going to recoup the money? The model of the 1990s obviously would be CD physical unit sales, wouldn't it? Yeah. It's just like Dave and I, if we had this, say we have backing from the National Lottery of Great Britain and they give us £500,000, we wouldn't be able to make a good return on that, Dave, would we? If we set up a record label.
Yeah. No, I have a better chance of buying a new camera and making more money. I mean, in reality. So, do y'all have any option to like pull up websites on this where you can like see the screen and stuff? I don't know if y'all.
Yeah.
I was going to show you. We do have a label, but we do a merch label on big6.net.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if you wanted to show that on the screen. So I mean, I can talk about that's more of the avenue we would want to go.
What I'll do is when we're talk about it, and what I'll do is when we get to edit, we'll try to make sure I can.
So at big6.net, me and Zach are trying to go more into a merch label. We kind of spin it off as like pretty much you almost get free merch, but it's only for bands that really want to sell their merch. So for example, we do 2Piece. So 2Piece is a big band from Florida. They're like a 2-piece hardcore band. And we print all their merch. We run their web store. So you can go, they'll do a pre-order and have all their merch up. And you'll do the pre-order, buy all of it. And by the end of it, we get our cut of it. And then we pay the band, whatever their percentage of it is. But because we run their merch, they can just take that percent that we would give them and they can just put it towards their tour merch.
Right.
So we pretty much are trying to do it like that, to where like a band, we can sell exclusive designs on the website, and then as you're touring, we just make you money. I mean, like it to me is a no-brainer, especially if you're a merch band that sells good merch.
Yeah,
So,
so bands are outsourcing their operations, aren't they? You've identified. Right, let's look at it this way. Substitute the CD for merch. You've
Yeah.
identified the product there where one, you can help because these bands need to tour and they're strapped for time. They need a professional operation, don't they, running this? And you've done there what really a record label would do with CDs, with distribution and manufacturing, haven't you?
yeah.
And then distribute at the end.
Yeah, because a band doesn't do anything. All a band does is say, "Hey, we have merch online. Here you go. Here's the link." And then we order the shirts, we print them, we ship them out for you, and then we send you money. So you literally just post it. That's all you would do as a band. But the surprising thing though is I'm speaking this into existence now. But the surprising thing is we haven't got a lot of bands wanting to do it. Like I don't know why, but like I guess logistic wise, but generally to us, we're like, man, you can sell like 10 to 20 shirts and it would be worth it for you, So, $200, $300. I mean, worst case, you make, $50 to $100 of that. I mean, it's still money for gas or something. I mean, and you did nothing. You did no work. You shared on your story, hey, we got these shirts on online for you to grab.
Yeah, to me it makes a lot of sense because that's how we do the A.D.K merch, because we don't actually hold stock of anything, so we just pop up our shop and say you can get all of this, and then we get our percentage if people buy it from our online store. And I don't understand why bands don't do more of that. There still seems to be this thing where bands want to buy lots of in bulk and then try and just sell it themselves rather than use online and merch stores like yourselves or people that can sell it and provide it simply and easily.
Well, we kind of look at it as more of we only want to do we want to do exclusive designs.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to order tour merch, you're going to sell on the tour, and at the end of your run, if you still have leftovers, you do tour leftovers and sell them.
Yeah.
But we're at the point where we would generally even buy back your merch that didn't sell and sell it for you. I mean, like we're still trying to figure out the logistics because not a lot of people have said yes. But I think, I don't know, it sounds great to me and Zach. So, but logistic wise, I think kind of going forward and having all these bands come through and doing uncuts and showing that we can print their merch. I mean, it happens all the time. Though, like I'm trying to think of Heavy Hitter, for example. Like those are my homies, and Heavy Hitter, they came and played LCY the other day when they did the Paved in Blood uncut. And they picked up their merch. They literally ordered it, say, hey, our first part of tour is at LCY. We're going to do an uncut, and we ordered merch a month ago. So they picked up their merch, and, like, look at there. You didn't have to pay to have it shipped or anything like that. You just literally played your first show, and it's right there.
So are you offering to do the designs for them as well?
No, we don't do that.
I'm going to say that would be incredible service, but
that's the next stage.
No, Zach's way over that. Since we did our own stuff for so long, it's just not worth it. There's too many like opinions when it comes to merch. That's why it's better for just a band to send a design and hope it's right. Yeah.
So, do you know what's interesting about this? I'm learning so much, like what you were just explaining there about outsourcing your merch operations, and you can take care of that for them. COVID taught us, didn't it, that you are going to be vulnerable if you're an artist and you've just got one or two income streams. Now you're on the other side of that, aren't you, in the industry and a DIY grassroots, and you're building and expanding. Where do you see yourself expanding to next, or are you going to consolidate, do you think, for the next 5 to 10 years with the existing operations that you have?
So LCY, grand scheme. So everything has been planned before we did shows. So doing shows was not really part of the plan. It just kind of happened to be added to it. But in our current building, I didn't mean to say buy, I guess. I meant to say lease. We leased our building, the one we're at now. Because we didn't know if it was going to be successful. So we couldn't, spend $500,000 for this spot or anything, whatever Birmingham property is. But we rented this spot for 3 years, then we renewed our lease. So I'm in our current building for 3 more years. Then I'm unfortunately going to have to do a bigger building because that building, they're going to be, since I fixed it up, they're going to try to charge probably 3 times the monthly price for it. Luckily I got it when it was crappy and fixed it up, so it was at a very affordable price. But the grand scheme of LCY, what we always want to do is kind of stick to the production and film and recording. So before we got the Big Six new building, we were looking at like a 12,000 square foot warehouse. It was so good. I still hate that we couldn't get it, but it's literally perfect. It could have fit everything, but we want to get more into like the film and set build part of it. Because as a videographer that shoots videos, I wanted to take people away from Atlanta and Nashville, which y'all from the UK. I don't know if you know what Atlanta or Nashville is.
Yeah,
but those are big markets for film and movies and stuff like that, and music. So I want people to not have to drive from Birmingham to Atlanta to experience a good studio and set builds and everything like that. So I need a bigger area that I can have pre-built sets, bigger white walls, put the potential for a movie crew to come in there and do what they need to and rent it out for as long as they need, like that, because that's where your money's going to really come through. Your money's not generally going to come from just $70 an hour to do a white wall. I mean, no, you want it to be book.
yeah.
And I think the best way to do that is to have a production studio that, like, people are going to have to spend at least 4 or 5 hours every time they book it because there's so much stuff that they want to do. So, like, most of the time, if you have a white wall, I mean, you could do a whole video in an hour, really. Whereas, because it's just the only thing you have. But as a videographer, if I walk in a building and I see, 15, 20 sets, my brain's going to be like, oh, I want to at least, shoot something on all of these, and you need more time, and which will cost more money. But that's kind of like the grand scheme. And then I have season 3 of LCY Uncut planned already, which is a pre-built set. Which obviously I can't tell you. You just gotta have to wait and see. But I've already planned it. Like I had it planned for when I thought we were going to get the 12,000 square foot building. But it's hopefully it's cool. Hopefully people still want to do it. But I kind of love that people still want to come do uncuts, because we're at 190. I mean, already.
Yeah.
And this is technically season 2. Season 1 was all rappers, and then the beginning of LCY Uncut was all rappers until I did Forced Neglect, and then I started getting bands.
I think the other thing that will raise the profile is when you get even bigger recognized artists with a US and international following. Like we mentioned Code Orange. Can you imagine if they came and said, yeah, we want to do an uncut as well, we really like what you're doing, and then getting bigger and bigger names? Is that something that you're actively searching for? Are you contacting bands and their management saying, hey, I can see that you're touring and you're passing through Alabama and playing Birmingham, why don't you do this? Are you actively doing that?
Yes, all the time. I had a chance to get Dance Gavin Dance to do one, but as soon as they got to Birmingham, they just went and did their own thing, and it didn't work out. But pretty much all I do is I DM every single band that's coming through Birmingham, and just hit them with hey, you're in town. It takes 1 hour. Just come by, do it real quick. Or they'll just say no, it's not my thing because it's not live audio. I don't know if that's one of your questions. It's not live audio. I don't know if people can't tell that or not. It should be very apparent.
Yeah.
But which I actually have a question. I have a question for y'all. Do y'all care that it's not a live audio?
No.
Me personally, no, because I grew up on two things over here. We had an institution called Top of the Pops. We in the top 40 singles, which ran from the 1970s to the early 2000s. Nobody played live on there, and that was the music show of this country, wasn't it, Dave? On a Thursday, everybody, if you liked music, would watch that. And two, I grew up on watching MTV as well, so
I think,
it's not a big deal at all for me.
I think for me, what I tend to look at is I don't expect something like that to be a live performance. If it was a live performance, then the quality of that live performance has to be really good as far as the sound, and that's very difficult to achieve unless you're spending a lot more time with it post mixing, etc. I actually find it quite interesting, especially because we talked about this when we were reviewing a lot of the videos, the fact that it's a one take live capture video. You can see it where a vocalist forgets their lyrics in that live take. You can see it where the drummer plays their live fill rather than the recorded album fill. And I was going, yeah, they didn't play that right. And I'm looking at it because I do videography. And so when obviously you do a white room and you shoot it, you take everyone, you do like 5 different takes from 7 different angles. And then you afterwards edit it all together. You go, that person fucked up, so I won't use that angle. I'll use this angle on that shot and that's where that way everything looks completely perfect. But in the one take one, it was great to go around and watch it and go, you can see the drummers, because obviously I'm guessing in the case of they're not, no one's running in ears. I'm guessing you've just got PA system playing the backing track.
It just depends on the band. Most of them are doing through the PA, which I have hidden behind the guitar cab or bass cab, which you can't see. So it's blaring. And then I gaff all the cymbals so that the drummer can hear, kill the snare, just like what you would for a music video.
Exactly. You can always see the drummer who, if they've got in-ears in, you can see the drummers are giving it full on. If they haven't got in-ears, you can see the drummers are a little bit more restrained because they don't want to hit the cymbals too hard. I even saw, I think in one of the videos, I can't remember which band it was, but one of the videos, I think they even removed the kick pedal beaters, because you saw no vibration on the kick drum at all whatsoever on the front of it.
Maybe I can't.
Only on one video out of 9. But that's kind of where I kind of find it really interesting watching these videos from that point of view. Weirdly, Andy absolutely loves that format of video.
It's because you get the best sounding, you get the real authentic of a band, like what they actually sound like, without like you having, because I don't know how many live videos do you watch at bands, like in reality? Like, do you sit there and like, oh, I'm gonna go watch one song of a live band, like, and then even then, like, I can't remember the last time I heard a live band from a YouTube video and was like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to all their music. Whereas like with the uncut, you're like, oh, this band sounds sick. And a normal person thinks it's live anyway, because they're just, not in the ecosphere of like how,
as
they're
analytical.
Like, oh. Yeah. They're like, man, this sounds just like the album. That's crazy. Yeah, it's kind of like how it is. But I just generally like that the video gives you a sense of like, when you watch a band live, you get that raw feeling of them playing live. But the audio sometimes is not, the audio of it doesn't, justify how cool they are as in performing it. Whereas in a music video, it's chopped up so quick that you just don't know what the fuck's going on. And you're just trying to listen to the song. Whereas like this, it's like the best of both worlds. You get the good sounding of the audio, and then you get the real rawness of this band playing. And I purposely don't focus on anybody, whereas most people would focus on the vocalist. I'll miss complete. People will do spin kicks and stuff like that, and I'm on this side, and they're over there. like you just miss stuff. I mean, and personally, I was going to say, since we're talking about energy, I mean, I don't know how many of y'all have watched, but I mean, like, what is like y'all's favorite uncut so far?
Cold
Because all of
Steel.
us are going to
Yeah, Cold Steel.
Cold Steel for me. Love that video.
have y'all seen the God Eyes one?
No, we
God's,
haven't.
yes, no, we did God's Eyes Regress.
God's Eyes. Yeah, hang on. Which band is God's
That was
Eyes?
the second to last one we did.
Are they
God Eye.
that brutal death metal band with a hardcore influence?
No. They're more like convergy, kind of like that.
Oh yeah, I criticized them actually. I said that musically the guitars were just atonal. Yeah, they were. I like the aggression in that.
There was a lot of aggression.
Dillinger Escape Plan, but without the technicality. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's my favorite uncut. Out of all the uncuts I've seen, that's one of the ones where from start to finish you like watch the video and you don't want to blink or miss anything because they're just they played LCY twice. I mean they literally play like that live too, and it's just crazy. But that's what I generally like. I like when a band that plays that kind of stuff really does it. Same with Heavy Hitter, like Austin when he's like wrapping his mic cord over his arm, like you're like, oh, this dude's like crazy. He's about to and he performs just like that. He's making you want to watch and enjoy it. So like I think it's like I think it also helps other bands watching them because if they come on, they want to be as good, if not better, than the videos they've seen.
Well, so one of the things I was going to say is like when we watch like a normal music video, etc. What I always find if I'm watching, I know Within Temptations music video or something like that, I'll watch it and I'll go, I really want to buy that album, or I really want to download or stream that album. It's not watching that video doesn't make me go, oh, I want to go and watch them live. With the uncut ones, even if the track wasn't quite my sort of thing, like for instance, God's Eyes is not. I'm not a real extreme heavy guy, so I listened to that. I was like, not really something I'm going to really listen to, but I'd really like to go and watch that band live because that looks insane. And there's elements. That's what each of the gigs or each of the uncuts were like. We watched it, and that's why I think Cold Steel just made us all just laugh. But not in the sense of laughing at the band. They just made us laugh because we found it really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
Because the guitarist is in like a crop top and he's doing high kicks and we're like, what the fuck is going on here? This is nuts. But
yeah, I hate that Rafi's not in. He's not even in that band anymore, unfortunately. But yeah. But shout out Rafi though. I feel bad for Facebook. Facebook is on his ass every single day.
So I mean, Kirk, did you have any other questions before I?
Yeah, just one final question from me. It's the one we always like to ask artists, and in this case, content creators and entrepreneurs. What's your proudest achievement so far with LCY Media? Is there anything you can pinpoint where you look back and think, wow, we got to this level? That was the crowning glory so far in what we've done.
The best, honestly, I think having 2 buildings in 2 years, like having the first building and getting it built out and everything is cool and all, but there's that's all like a making money back kind of situation. Whereas having 2 buildings means that I'm able to finally expand the business, and I think every time I go from one building to go to my second building, I still right now feel the craziness of like I'm able to go to my business across down the way, and like it's just crazy to walk into your second building. So I imagine it's like if you own like a restaurant or anything like that, and you get to see how many locations you have. Like I know that must feel great to see that your idea can like expand and get bigger, and people like it enough to you can actually do that. Because I don't know how old y'all are, but I'm pretty sure there's been plenty of times in your life where you thought you'd be doing something way longer than you actually did. But and generally it's hard to make people care. So providing something that people actually like love and like want to be a part of now because with us doing shows and being bands, like people want to come to LCY and like be a part of like what we have, because our scene is like actually like really sick. Like people cherish the venues they get to have shows at for a long, long time. Even the shows I used to go to when I was 13, people still talk about the venues that we used to go to that are no longer like around. So I don't know how it is in the UK, but that's how Birmingham is with our music scene.
Yeah, we're on the we're really the home counties, Greater London, where we're based, and we do have a music venue that we all love and cherish, which will be unfortunately closing in 2024, called Club 85 in the Hertfordshire market town of Hitchin, which is in southeast England. So yeah, and I think that's another thing that attracted us to what you're doing at Lawnchair Youth. It's clear that one, you're business savvy, but to me it just sounds like you just wanted to promote the local artists as well, in the rap scene and then the hardcore and metal scenes. So even by what you're doing and expanding, you're helping other artists. It's like a network effect, isn't it? People want to be part of it, that grows, and then you're like, okay, what else can we expand into? So yeah, I'd just like to say it's really impressive what you're doing, and I admire the risks that you've taken, especially taking out a lease in 2020. And it's great that you understand what your core business is and what opportunities are out there to grow on the periphery of that. And like you said, opening a second building, remarkable within 3 years where you are. And that people, like you say, they want your product, they want your services. So from me, I just want to say, well done, Tim. I think it's fantastic what you're doing.
I appreciate it a lot. I'm just glad that also it's getting to a point to where people want to talk to me about stuff. Me and Zach used to do a podcast. He did Heavy Ultra. We did a thing called the Mochi Mochi podcast. So luckily I have a background of doing podcasts because I like to talk, which I guess also, I was also going to, I guess, put in a thing is like most companies and most, like, if you think of Colors or you think of Audio Tree, you don't have like a person for those. Like everybody knows it's me doing LCY Uncut. Yeah. Like, like it's kind of hard for it. I think that's kind of like one of the things is like everyone, if they want to be on LCY Uncut, they want to do anything LCY, they want merch and anything, like they talk to me. And I think that's probably why I think we're also doing so well, because it's so easy to like figure out the way to be a part of it. Whereas like, every band wish they could be on Audio Tree or go to Colors or, be on Hate 5-6, but that's just not how that works. Like, so whereas LCY, anybody can be on LCY. I mean, you can just like, you either pay the fee or, you say yes to me asking you to come on and be a guest. Like, it's one of the two. So, but yeah, and it's fairly affordable. I don't even overcharge for the platform. Like a band can pay for it.
Yeah. Great.
So,
great job what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Okay, so comes back to me then. So normally I ask the final question. The final question is usually what's the plans for the future, but Kirk kind of got there a bit earlier when he asked you about your 5-year plan. So he's nicked me final question. So really all it does is it leads me down to just say thank you for obviously spending some time today to talk about LCY. We've greatly appreciated it, and again, we were just so impressed about what you were doing within a community, because just something that's focusing, giving a place for artists to perform, recording, production that's affordable as well, because sometimes I know as a videographer, I know production costs can be an expensive thing, especially the editing element.
Well, also no one knows that, you just watch the videos. Anyone, if you ask a normal Joe how much you think this costs, they're going to say some crazy number or something.
Yeah.
So, but
it's great to actually see. I mean, because I was looking at the prices on it, and it's just great. I do have one question I'm going to throw out at the end, because you film it every Friday between 3 and 7 is what it says on your website. The website probably changed since then.
Yeah, I don't know why we still have it up. Zach controls the website. It hasn't taken that down. But every once in a while, a band will book it. Like, did y'all watch the Blackwater Sniper video?
Not yet, no.
No. Is that
Okay.
Yeah, did you post that yesterday? I know I saw on your Facebook feed. That's a recent one, isn't it?
Yes. So I don't know if I doubt it's for y'all, like music wise. But what he was talking about with God's Eyes, where he doesn't really like the music, but he would love to see him live. That's what Blackwater Sniper is. It's going crazy on Facebook. It has like over 30,000 views in like 2 days, and then it's doing really good. But it's like noise, grindcore, but it's a 2-piece, and they wear ghillie suits.
My type of music. I like that.
That's your sort of thing, yeah.
And their guitars, if you focus, their guitars are cut in half. They throw them. They're like Chariot, where they like throw their shit and break it, and so they do home repairs to make sure that it still plays. So like both of their bass and guitar, and then they're doing like they have a drum machine to play their drums. You know, so like they're this whole like act, but like, you know, music wise, is it what I'm going to listen to? Nah, but is it something I would? If I walked in, I saw 2 guys in a ghillie suit. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna watch 2 guys play crazy music with 2 ghillie suits. Like, why would I not want to like experience that? Yeah. So, but I like that the platform allows even the freaks and kind of like off-putting stuff, because like normal metal guys are like, bro, I'm unsubscribing, man. I'm only here for, you know, caveman riffs and you know, and stuff like that. And then you have something like that, and everyone's like, you know, hates it or loves it. And the same thing with rap. Like, I'm still doing rap. Like, if you're watching LCY Uncut the next week, we unfortunately, I've done so many renovations that we are like, we're doing really bad financially right now, because we got a second building, so we had to do renovations. So I'm doing a promo right now to shoot only rappers and singers, because I can do them in 15 minutes and get them out. But like, so if you're watching LCR Uncut, you're probably about to see 8 rappers back to back to back to back to back. And I know I'm going to lose subscribers, because all the metal people are going to be like, oh man, LCY has gone downhill. But if you go back to the beginning, it's all rappers and singers for like 50 episodes. Like, there's 50 uncuts of just rappers and singers before the first band gets on there. But you would never know that, because that's not how the algorithm on YouTube works. It's like you find a band and then you keep watching bands, because that's where the community is now.
Yeah, the algorithm's a nightmare.
Yeah, so yeah, I just kind of like to put it out there on just LCY Uncut. Just the platform is like, the platform is for people to find new music. It's not about people being like, I hate this channel because they only do rap now. I'm like, no, it's literally for everybody.
Yeah, I think that's what we like, just the fact that we picked 9 videos and only probably 2 bands were similar in any sense. We were just like, we have no idea what we're getting.
Yeah.
We even played a game beforehand for the guys, because I obviously had the video on my screen, but for Andy and Kirk, they don't get to see it until I share the screen with them. So I was going, so this is the band's name and this is the song title. What type of genre of music do you think they are? And I don't think you really got it right once.
What was the? Let me see. Because I'm curious. What was probably your favorite one of those, of them getting it wrong?
Well, we thought Cold Steel were going to be a traditional heavy metal band, like
thrash,
like Judas Priest type.
Yeah,
classic metal.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we went with Cold Steel. We were like,
Cold Steel. It was like, it's got to be a Manowar type band.
Gel confused us, because we were like, the band name Gel. We're like, well, that could be pop punk, maybe.
I think I went for noise rock. I went for.
But then we were like, but the song's called Honed Blade. We're like, hang on, that's kind of like power metal type song title. Hang on, what's going? And then one of the songs, I think Andy guessed, was a Doom band, and then I'm like, yeah, it's a 1 minute and 56 seconds long. It's like, well, that ain't bloody Doom, is it? That's the intro to a Doom band.
Yeah, I think my favorite one, I don't know if you watched it, but Love Gun.
Okay.
It's called Love Gun, and then it's called Kiss the Sky.
Should we try and guess then? Love Gun. I mean, that sounds like an
It's a
LA
Kiss.
Sunset Strip
Yeah.
type 80s band.
Glam metal
So they're
type
not.
thing.
Okay, so I think their name comes from Kiss.
Yeah, so
right.
I would have gone glam metal.
Yeah, but so they dress like rockers,
Okay.
but they don't play like they don't play that.
So they like Insane Clown Posse, where you look at them, you think, are they a metal band? And then you hear them and you're like, what the fuck's this?
No, they're like a crazy crossover thrash, thrash rock. Like,
Wow.
I don't. Yeah, yeah. That would be something that once we get off of here, you guys should check out Love Guns Uncut, because it is like, it's such a like mind kind of twisting, because like it starts out so like melodic and just kind of chill, and then it's yeah, it's just like kind of crazy just out of nowhere. But I just
watch that one.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, you click on you see a new band, people now are like, oh, I'm gonna check it out, and they either gonna love it or hate it, and that's.
Well, we have said that we are every couple of weeks we're going to do a focus on LCY Uncut, because we just found it so fun just going through, and also the videos were so short, like 2.5 minute songs. We were like, great, we can actually get through about 8 or 9 videos in 2 hours. Let's go for the next one. Let's see what it's all about.
Blackwater Sniper, I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, you said that's blowing up right now, isn't it?
That's going to have to be the next one.
I would watch that. I would watch that reaction 100%.
Thursday, Dave. Add it to the list. So
yeah, that's this Thursday.
Noise.
I'll add that one to this Thursday.
Playlist. Dave hates grindcore. I like grindcore, and
I can't stand it.
Andy likes Napalm Death, so he's into it as well.
Yeah, he's all right with it.
Well, if you like grindcore, in May I have See You Next Tuesday doing one.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
So
that's
they
Kirk.
Yeah, I posted on our Facebook, and I was like, hey, what bands do you want to see in 2024? And literally from their band page, they go and wave. So literally, I did nothing. I literally did nothing. I just planted the seed, and I've made all the community just tag bands. And now I have literally a list of bands that are trying to come through next year, and I did nothing.
And it's great because those bands become aware of it. And they're probably thinking, "Oh, we need to go and do this now."
Yeah, well, because they see bands blowing up. They see bands doing good. Even my homies in like my local Birmingham bands. I mean, they did one uncut, and they went from 100 monthly listeners to 2,500. Yeah. You know, like what program? What are you going to do as a local band to do that? There's nothing. You're going to putting out a music video doesn't cater anything.
No.
Like my homies in Bridewell, they shot. If you go watch their music video, it's so crazy and over the top, and just so like you're like, man, this video should have so many views. And then you go to their uncut, and it has 20 times as many views, and it took literally 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things. Yeah, same with Jail. You know, that's Jail's most music video views, and it took, you know, it took them longer to set up than it did to shoot it and edit it. Because I edit them on the spot.
Right. Okay. So they walk out there with a USB
video
stick.
Yeah. No, I airdrop it just from my MacBook. The computer I'm on right now, I edit it. I drop my preset on it, adjust it a little bit, render it out, airdrop.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, we must let you go. We've had an hour.
Yeah.
An hour of your time, so we must let you get back to your little one. So just a big thank you, Tim, for everything you're doing, obviously within the scene over there, and obviously for spending the last hour chatting to us on the A.D.K channel.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I sound too southern for a lot of you, the UK people. So.
Oh no, it's an easy accent to understand. I mean, the Birmingham, England accent is very distinctive. If we were from there, you'd probably be asking us, what kind of accent is that? But no, we know the accent, the Birmingham, Alabama accent from various films and TV dramas. So nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I guess it could be worse. Could be worse.
Now that Kirk's had an explanation of accents, thank you very much to everyone who's watched, and we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.